Okay, wow, we're live. I just get the notification. So here we go. And there we go. This way you hopefully hear me a little bit better. So give it a minute so people can come in and can join us. This is always fun. We're doing it on Zoom and I'm monitoring it with Facebook. There we are. Getting the volume off, so let people come in gradually. Good morning to everyone. We have a few people already in. Great. So we will get started. Let's do it. Time, money, and energy. That is the topic of this week's workshop. There we go. That light is better. There we go. So 2 half days. One is Wednesday. Actually, we'll do it Thursday this week, Thursday evening, and then Saturday morning. Time, money, and energy. These are really interesting to work with. We hear a lot about life hacks, and my take on it, which is of course my personal opinion, is that the only real life hack we can do is use more efficiently what we are given by life. In other words, some time, some money, and some energy. And when we manage it well, everything works out better. When we're managing it poorly, then we are wasting the time we have, the money we have, the energy we have. We're wasting the potential. So by improving the 3 of those, we can sort of hack our way to better results. We can fast track our way to better results. The 3 of them are really interesting. And we generally do not manage any of them optimally. By optimally, I'd say if you measure it between 0 and 10, 10 is absolute perfection, flawless, it can't be improved. Then 0 is catastrophically bad. And then there's some level between the two, which is good enough for us. And of course, the more we manage any of them, it's like a logarithmic curve. So going from 0 to 1 is relatively easy. From 1 to 2 is a bit less easy, but it's huge gains. But going from 8 to 9 becomes incredibly difficult, and then 9 to 10 becomes really difficult. So there's usually a sweet spot where things are good enough. And if we aim to 10, that's part of the curse or the disease of being a perfectionist. If we aim to 10, then we always think, well, I haven't reached perfection, therefore it's not good enough. And that's not true. There's a level where it is good enough, where any improvement is marginal versus the effort. And so my goal is to make it possible for you to reach a level that is beyond the minimum and hopefully beyond good enough. So you actually know how to get really high. Probably, get an idea of what 10 is, and then you can water it down. And whatever you do that gets you closer is a form of improvement. So the 3 of them are really interesting. Time, we each get 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. And that's really unfair because, of course, we'd like to have 28 hours per day. And we'd like to have, probably 10-day weeks so we can have 5-day weekends. That'd be really, really nice. But that's not the way it works. With money, some of us are born rich, some of us are born poor. The only rule is that if we manage what we have well, we get more. And if we manage what we have poorly, we get less. So giving more money to someone who doesn't know how to manage what they have will simply mean they've got more money to mismanage. So money management tools are arguably more important on average than simply redistributing money. Of course, we can argue that below a certain level, it's not possible to survive, and that level that is quite accurate. Nonetheless, however little we have, if we can manage it better, something better happens, and if we don't manage it better, then we'll get the same problems. With energy is renewable. That's really nice. If we drop to 0 out of 10 of energy, we can actually get it back. And how do we do that? It's quite simple, actually. We respect ourselves. When we respect ourselves, hence the subtitle, Respect Yourself More. All of this about self-respect. And with energy, it's about some specific behaviors that help increase our energy. How do we know what they are? Well, we see if we do something, do we have more energy or less energy? So, and then usually it's a balance. There's some trade-off where we can lose a little bit of energy, but it's fun, so it gives us some energy. And it's up to us to figure it out, whatever works for us. And it's also good to remember that some activities that are fun, that we enjoy, are activities that deplete our energy. So maybe when we do it, we savor it. For people who enjoy wine, a nice glass of wine is very nice to savor. Having 2 or 3 bottles a night probably is not a very good idea. It's not very sustainable. And wine is actually, when you read about wine and alcohol, and you find out just how bad it really is for the body, you go, well, if you want to do it, do it. Just make sure you really savor it and go easy on it, because otherwise, it's not going to be very sustainable. So, of the 3, the really special one is time. And if you walk away with this idea from this live, then there's been a good use of your time and my time. Time is very special because we have a limited amount of time left, and we don't know how much. We can have a heart attack, we can catch COVID, any kind of catastrophe can happen. It can be over very, very soon, or it can last for ages. We don't know. We don't know. Whatever time goes by, it's gone. It's never going to come back. Time is really, really our most precious resource. And if you want to spend it sitting by the sea, by a lake, just admiring how beautiful the world is, maybe that's actually a rather good use of our time. Especially if we have very little time left. If we've got a lot more time left, at one point we get hungry, we need to do something, be a bit more productive, help out the people that we care about. But yeah, time, very important. We can sort of guesstimate, actually, it's a scary exercise to do. We can sort of guesstimate how far through our life we are and how much time we have left. You can do the exercise by doing small squares you can do it for every year. We roughly know what life expectancy is. We can do it every month or every week or every day. And that gives a really interesting perspective about using our time appropriately and meaningfully. Well, or we can just seek pleasure, but that we use it. That usually is not very sustainable. And it's not really about respecting ourselves. So trying to do something meaningful. And I believe I teased you with some titles. It was something along the lines of why we don't do it. So why, when we have all of the tools, why don't we like seeing how we manage our time and our money and also our energy? But it's mainly time and money. Most of us don't like doing it. And the reason why, and this is a bit of a truth bomb, the reason why is because how we manage our time and our money shows us exactly where our priorities are. As simple as that. If you are spending 2 hours a day on social media and you claim that you don't have time to meditate or read books or do psychological work, therapy, anything like that, it's not a priority. Your priority is social media. If you spend time doing shopping, hours a day, it's a priority. If you enjoy going to the restaurant and you go every day and you spend about, let's say, 3-4 hours a day in a restaurant, actually, even keep it shorter, 2 hours a day in a restaurant, and then in a bar, or maybe, let's say, a total of 3 hours a day, and you've got a specific budget for that, that's a priority. If you're claiming that you can't do personal development work because you don't have time and money, it's just that it's not a priority, and it's just an excuse. And so how we manage the time and the money is a really rough, honest indicator of where our priorities lie. And of course, we hate it because we don't like to say, yeah, you know what? I really don't care about my mental health. Like I'll take my car to the garage when it's not working out. If my knee hurts, I'll eventually go to the doctor. If it really hurts, try taking some medication myself. But if it really hurts, I'll go. But if I'm feeling depressed, if I'm feeling stressed out, if I'm feeling lost, if I'm feeling that I'm going around in circles, I'm not satisfied with my relationships, I'm not satisfied with my life is going, and I've hit a dead end, but I can't find the time or the money to do it. It's just not a priority. And it's actually really fun to get into this. When people say I don't have any money, it's like, well, you have a car, you could sell your car. So no, I could never do that. But when do you use your car? Sometimes on weekends. Okay, it's a priority. This is also really, by the way, if you're working in any of the personal development space or health space, it's important to bear this in mind, because clients will sometimes say, I don't have any money to work with you. That might be true, but this statement usually goes unchallenged. And from my perspective, it makes sense to challenge it this way. It's like, when you say this actually happened to me yesterday. When you say it, what is it? Or when you don't want to spend money on work, what is really going on? Do you have a cash flow problem? Maybe that's it, you have a cash flow problem. Or are you not sure it's going to work? Or if it does work, do you think it would be a bad use of your money? Those are pretty much the only possibilities. So do you think it will work, yes or no? Well, maybe it won't. Okay, then you establish how what the expectations are. What do you mean by working? And if it doesn't work and you agree on the expectations, maybe just pay the money back. Fair enough. So you take the risk, and the other person, then you remove the excuse. Now, maybe they're not serious, but then you say, if it really would work, would you pay the money? And it can be a lot of fun to do that. If you say, let's imagine that you're stuck in, we did this last week, you're stuck in toxic relationships, and you're trying to recover from a toxic relationship, which is unbelievably painful and awful. This is jeopardizing all future relationships, and probably this has gone back for decades. Okay, let's imagine that we could solve this for once and for all. How much would you pay? How much is it worth? People start going, well, a few $100, it seems like a lot of money, then it's not a problem. That's fine. And it's interesting to do this, because then when people are able to say, well, actually, you know what? It's true. There's something about the situation that works for me. That is the beginning of the therapeutic process. I actually need to accept to lose an advantage I have. My narrative was a narrative of lies that was all about how I don't have the choice. I can't do anything. And you say, well, here you say, well, I'm giving you the choice. You can do something. And let's imagine it works. Then we uncover the fears. That's fantastic. A fantastic approach. And then when people say, well, I don't have the money, like there's no cash flow, then we can talk about their priorities. I had someone who was saying she didn't have the money, but she just bought $500 of shoes. And she goes, but I need the shoes. Like, if the shoes are more important than sorting out your marital issues, I respect that. It's fine. But then I'm not going to subsidize your shoe purchases. Or if people, if you imagine you give a discount to someone, you find out they spent the money on cigarettes. You don't really want to be subsidizing somebody's cigarette consumption or alcohol consumption or Netflix consumption. So yeah, it's all about our priorities, and that's a really helpful place to start with people. What are your priorities? Why do you want to do this? It's a helpful place to start with ourselves. What do we really want in life? And are we really doing it? And if we're not, why are we not doing it? There are many, many reasons for that. The energy part, here we go. I think it's on this side. The energy part is one of those. Any activity that gives us energy requires energy. And we can get caught in a spiral, in a trap, where we have low energy. So we do low energy activities, such as social media, shopping, watching TV, low energy activities. Because the initial investment is small, the return is extremely small. Higher energy activities will be going out and hiking, doing something with the body, related with sport, reading a complex book that requires concentration, going to a yoga class, doing personal work, or sitting down and managing your time and money and just making a proper budget. And it's painful. But what's the alternative? The alternative is tricky. It's more of the same. So, as usual, if more of the same sounds like something amazing that you look forward to, go for it. If more of the same, over the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 60 months, 10 years, if more of the same sounds like something that doesn't really get you too excited, you've got the internet. You've got plenty of information out there, places to find information. It just takes time. It takes a lot of time to sort through it. Or you find something like this where the information is condensed. So I'll be sharing with you so we've got a free masterclass tonight at 6 p.m. And then on Thursday and Saturday, I'll be sharing with you the tools that I use with my clients. This is my full-time money energy management workshop. Time, it's about how to use, or which system allows you to manage your time efficiently, lower your stress levels dramatically, or distress levels dramatically. It's happened that people say they go from 8 out of 10 of stress down to 2 out of 10 within, a small amount of time. If I just do the time management workshop, then it's about 2 hours. So we'll probably roughly cover this. So stress levels reduce and they feel empowered. Yeah, that's a good one. With money, a few pointers about what money is and how it works, and tips to manage it better very quickly and improve our relationship with money very quickly. And the last one is energy, which the way we see things, knowing what to do to improve the energy, many quick wins. So you can build up your average level of energy. You can build up your minimum level of energy and therefore increase your highest level of energy day after day. So yeah, one question of the energy is thinking, on average, what is your energy level? If you could improve that, increase that, and it was feasible, and it was something that you really felt you could do, would that be helpful? So there we go. That's it for this short live. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you would like to join us for the masterclass, that would be lovely. If you have any questions, you can shoot me your questions either via JustBe, so you can send them a message or email and they'll contact me, or you can email me directly. The address is info, so info at Ribberson, RIBERSSON.com. And I invite you to follow me also on Instagram. That's fribberson on Instagram. So thank you very much for tuning in. And yes, I look forward to seeing you very soon. Have a great